All right, welcome back, everybody. Got some more Overwatch coming at you. We got the BC Gators Black going against Texas A&M Black. So hope you guys are ready. I'm Mr. Leapfrog. Along with me today is going to be Cade.
Howdy do, y'all. Hopefully we're going to see a good matchup here between BC and Texas A&M, and I'm excited to see it.
Saw Texas A&M Black play a little bit earlier. They were looking super dominant on, both the Auga and the Domina. So Aim God's trying to, lead the way once again on tank. But this time against another BC Gators team. This time going to be I believe it's the Unity team. They've got a little bit tougher ask, but let's see if they can make things happen in this map.
Definitely.
And first to two. Cena Genji, so I'm already liking what I'm seeing.
You're a Genji guy.
Oh, I love Genji. It's one of those things I think the character is.
I think I'm a chase in this book of being a Reinhardt guy.
You're definitely gonna see some Reinhardt tonight. I think Reinhardt is one of those characters that's kind of been slept on. Not on the side of Texas A&M. It's going to be all Auga at least for this first map. I know Lijiang Tower has kind of been their strongest map, and you can see why with the comps they like to play around.
Looks like they're having the match going on over there already. We're having some technical.
Looks like we are so back. You saw the initial point being started, taken off from Aim Gods, rocking the Zarya this time around. But again, still going to be having a tough time dealing with this Reinhardt and the Bastion comp. A lot of damage being poured into the front line, but with no supports. Going to be going back to the spawn doors for the Gators.
Looks like Texas A&M Black has taken control of point here, going about 50%.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates lined up already. We've got the High Noon. We saw Orion playing the Cassidy earlier and looking really dominant, but maintaining that pressure. Still has a ton of ults at his wayside. We have the Kitsune Rush as well loaded up and ready, but it doesn't matter. Greninja, yet Bastion configure onto the tank, always willing to take control. And looks like they're going to flip it back over just at 65%, so not too shabby of a fight win for them, and very cheap win as well. Dry fight for them.
Awesome. I love seeing the Reinhardt action here from Bowser. He's doing a lot of heavy hits and being a great shield, as a great tank does.
So we're going to see a heavy commit on the side of Texas A&M. They do still have Kitsune Rush. They're working on a beat. Jay getting pretty close to it, but it doesn't matter. Gibby falling super early on his fight before he even started 8ly, able to kind of maybe get that stun grenade off and make sure he stays away from the back line. It's going to be important, again, because you're going to be running Juno and Yang. It's imperative to keep them alive.
Yeah. And Aim God here just finding the right opportunity to use his weapon in the correct way.
Full charge though, and you can see Shay willing to pop the orbital ray, able to kind of guide him right into the back line. Gibby immediately getting 2 picks with the Death Blossom, but it doesn't matter. I feel like Greninja just being able to output so much pressure to the back line. They're still willing to commit the grab. They get the picks, they tie things up, and now it's a 1v1 tank battle for the objective. You can see Aim God immediately running for the health pack. Still, it's going to be a tough ask for them to kind of uproot the full health and full shield Reinhardt.
Yeah, and we can see BC coming back here to start supporting Reinhardt again, but looks like A&M is going to be able to take hold of point. And
yeah, able to flip it back into their favor. And again, they did bait out the Kitsune Rush, so that was good. And again, a dry fight win for them. They didn't have to commit anything. They knew it was kind of a lost battle once the Reinhardt was just kind of sitting there holding shield up. Yeah. But look at the amount of resource that they have. They have double DPS ultimates. I would like to see maybe Greninja kind of pair it up with 8ly, force it into a corner, and then be able to tell him what time it is. But Orion has the same idea. Jay maybe willing to commit the beat as well. Oh, and not to be able to get off in time. Greninja able to get that first pick off on the fight. 8ly And Orion
BC's
trying to
gonna take point back here.
Yeah, you saw him try to do that last second high noon, maybe trying to get that clutch mode swap, but not going to happen. Jay still has beat, and they're going to have to take this to a final fight situation. One fight to rule them all. We've got Shatter in hand. Are we going to find anybody to put on their backs?
Reinhardt holding shield strong there, trying to keep A&M off of the point here, but cannot.
Oh, and they get a Shatter off, but I mean, again, it's Saturday at 99%. Skittles, oh, and Bowser trying to be clutch right now. Not going to be able to contest the point for too long, not without any supports to help him keep alive. And man, just on that alone, it's going to be enough for Texas A&M to be able to flip the point. You see AimGod swapping over to the Wrecking Ball to get back in time, but not going to matter anyways. They still win this first point, 99 to 100. It's gone the distance.
What a match there. It was super close for both teams here. That was a flip of the coin, exciting match right now.
Yeah, if he had, decided to use a Shatter just a split second sooner, if Aitley pulled that trigger sooner, you saw him waiting so long to try to get those 2 or 3 kills of the high noon, but unfortunately, perfectly timed bubble from AimGods. Even though they fell, it was like a desperation. Get down, Mr. President, I'm gonna save you and keep the team alive. And that was, that one ability alone saved their point.
Definitely, and as you were saying that if they were just a touch sooner, if they were just there a little bit sooner, this is the kind of game to where you cannot hesitate and you must attack as soon as you can.
100%, man. Hesitation will result in a loss. So see Aitley giving up the Cassidy, going over to Reaper, but Greninja actually picking up the Cassidy this time around as well. Bowser going over to Arisa, but at the same time, AimGod still sticking on the Zarya, and Orion again coming out with the Sojourn. And what a pick to retaliate with. I mean, sure they lost Jay, but still in the fight.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of attacking here from BC, trying to get a hold of this point, testing it, and no one even has control of it yet.
It looks like Texas A&M are going to be able to control it now, but that's the only thing when you run that Reaper so much later on. Gibby already has access to both of his perks, while Aitley, starting super late on that Reaper swap, not going to have the same amount of resources, same perks accessible to him. You see right now Gibby going straight to the back line, and with the bubble to kind of keep the battery nice and charged for AimGod. Greninja still getting the pick on Orion. This is exactly what we needed. But however, you can see Gibby still being committed to the fight, and now with losing both your DPS, it's going to be hard to kind of stay involved, and it looks like they're going to relinquish the point for the time being.
Yeah, and we want to see BC be able to take this point over to get this up some, because this is what they're going to need to be able to come back to this already 1-0 start against them.
2 out of reach either, so definitely could be winnable here. Aitley working on a Death Blossom, so I'd love to see if they can kind of get it off early, because again, they don't have anything to kind of keep them alive beyond the Suzu. But just when I say that, Gibby and Orion willing to commit, super aggressive in this fight. Overclock looking for the backline, not gonna be able to find anything beyond the tank, but it doesn't matter. I feel like the damage has already been done. Still willing to commit the Death Blossom, getting 3 picks, and Greninja keeping the hopes alive.
Wow. What a ult by Reaper there to be able to keep BC's control over the point there.
I thought that was futile. I did not think it was worth going for that Death Blossom right there. But you know what? Aitley is a master of talent, so he definitely knows exactly when to pop that Death Blossom, keep their dreams alive. Bowser having Terra Surge as well. AimGod's maybe looking for a grab in the backline, but it doesn't have an opportunity. Straight to the backline, straight to the hard Tidal Blast in hand. Not going to find any connection on it yet, but it doesn't matter. Still making a ton of space for their team. Oh, and the grab, perfect time from AimGod to be able to isolate targets. That's the thing, you overstayed your welcome, and you will get team killed. They finally get the point back into their favor, but at 65%, still working on a deficit.
Yeah, and they got to make up this percentage somehow, so they're just going to be able to take control of that point, and just they need to hold BC here to be able to get back up to where it is an even match. And
Orbital Ray in hand. You can see him lining up with the High Noon as well. We saw, maybe not too much success with Aitley's version of the High Noon, but let's see if Greninja can find success. Aitley getting rid of the other opposing Reaper. High Noon in hand. Kitsune Rush on point. A ton of ultimates being expended. Are we going to be able to find any type of success? Orion trying to find success with his, but nothing. Just been met with nothing but the face of Arisa. And more damage than you can handle. Jay getting speared off the map, but it looks like it's going back and forth. It's all up to Bowser to be able to survive and actually contest this objective, but it's not going to happen. Full charge Zarya being able to power through any type of damage mitigation you got.
And it looks like A&M here's gotten over the percentage that BC has and is able to just control the point once again.
Over that hill, get over that hump, and now it's just a matter of desperation touch. Bowser does have access to a Terror Surge when they get back, but we're running out of time here. Only 10%, essentially 10 seconds to get onto the objective. And when look at their power position, they're playing super aggressive, wants to fight, take this fight in their spawn door. Don't give them an opportunity to touch this point. They do have Tidal Blast. They need to get it onto the tank. They need to get onto the point. Last 2 seconds, are they gonna be able to get that touch up in time? They do get the overtime trigger, but now what can they do against this grab? And the Death Blossom, absolutely nothing. Big ult from Gibby King as he falls straight from the roof, but it doesn't matter. Bowser just trying their best to get the picks to keep their hope alive, but that's going to be a team kill again for Texas A&M as they close out map number 1.
And that was just a clean sweep by Texas A&M Black right there to be able to take control after being down early on and just come back to that, what was it, like 67 to 100. So
yeah, and again, this is right here is one of those things. They were playing super aggressive, and I like the aggression that that Gators wanted to push into their spawn, similar to the way Texas A&M have been doing. But you got to have a way you can back out. But because with running. We are back here for map number 2, New Junk City. So Flashpoint, Insu. I think we're going to see some role swaps on the side of Gators.
I'm excited to see it. I'm not the biggest Overwatch guy, but I know that they're only 5v5 compared to my usual Marvel Rival 6v6, and to see them have those strict roles per team, I'm excited to see how it takes place.
Yeah, and this time you see Aitley swapping over to the tank, going for the Junker Queen. Maybe wants to play a little bit more aggressive, while Phoenix, typically one, our producer, but then two, actually the support player, going over to DPS. Maybe wants to help isolate targets a little bit more. This is going to be a great opportunity for them to do it. Let's see if they can tie things up. Again, it's only a first of 2, and Texas A&M already starting off well. That first map win, New Junk City coming straight at y'all. Kind of a unique approach. Normally you approach from the left side and kind of face it off at, you know, on the edge of the point, but this time wanting to go maybe for a flank opportunity for them. Maybe trying to isolate with the Gracie knife. We're gonna have to see if they can make it happen. Aitley has been super accurate, so nothing surprising me here.
We're just seeing a lot of damage already from Aitley here, just stealing damage and taking names.
Yeah, trying to rip the tank away from the team. Unfortunately, they do play a really aggressive angle, trying to isolate a target, and unfortunately getting caught out of position. And now it's just gonna be a desperation, maybe try to get the last few picks before you give up the point, relinquish it. Yeah, it looks like point gonna be going over in favor of Texas A&M Black once again. But Aitley does survive and almost taking the target with them. So if they wind up getting another last-second pick, this would be huge for the recontest.
This would be the game. This could be a game-changing moment right here. Does not look they're going to be able to get that kill, and it looks like Texas A&M Black's aim god is going to be able to steal something.
Yeah, you see the May getting eliminated from the fight, so now a big bulkier damage is going to be gone. Kay does actually find a pick onto Orion. They're still willing to commit the Rampage into the backline. I don't think they had a Suzu. I think they baited out. I didn't see it. Must have been off, but it doesn't matter. The clutch mode from Aitley to pop Rampage despite being a man down and still being able to win that fight. And again, if you'll peek, it's very similar in terms of game modes for Control. However, the Flashpoint does quick pick way faster, almost double the speed.
Wow. And I wasn't really expecting that, and to see that BC was able to take the point back, and it looks like they're gaining their percentage super fast now that I'm paying attention. But
yeah, they can see him loaded up with the Genji blade. Oh, but just when I say the aim god, putting the bomb straight onto the backline, straight onto the hearts, and every single target gets hit and immediately falls. Orion helping out with the assist. Trying to light up the kill feed themselves, got 2, and maybe a third. Nah, just gonna be stolen away by aim gods. But again, now that that point's been flipped over and no Lucio on the side of Gators, I don't think they're gonna have enough time to contest. You can see them already pushing to the spawn door just to make sure they have no opportunity to recontest, and that's gonna be point number 1 going to the way of Texas A&M.
BC is going to be able to. He's going to have to just suit up and just take charge in this next flashpoint area so that they can make the comeback.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is a fight where you're perfectly okay with this, right? You don't use any resources, take a dry fight here. You already see that Texas A&M committed to their, Kitsune rush. But if you could take a look, the flashpoint still has a little bit of time before it unlocks. So even though you lose this fight, you're still not really losing a whole lot of objective. So this is a great opportunity for your team to build up resources, get to their own Kitsune rush, and get back into the fight.
Definitely. We're gonna see Texas A&M Black immediately take charge of point here as BC is working on their comeback towards them.
I think Greninja's gonna maybe pop the blade incoming here. We got the shout. Aitley, a huge rampage again, straight to the back line, blade in hand, but immediately getting frozen up. A big commitment from their team, but survives the onslaught. An oversight even. I mean, you do a big commitment like that, you bait out the Suzu, and you think it's going to be go time for your team, but guess what? Jay comes in clutch with the beat just in the nick of time to keep their teams alive, and now you have no DPS ults on the side of Gators coming in here. You got to really lean onto Kay here. Hopefully she gets another early pick.
Yeah. We're going to see that both of the supports for BC do have their ults, but they're going to need to use them in the correct times.
Genji, oh my goodness, man, so much damage being poured out. I mean, even though that Texas A&M have the pick advantage, they actually still could be losing this fight, especially with Kay and Atlee just lighting up the kill feed. Just them 2 alone is enough to be able to help flip this point around potentially. You see their team desperately getting back to the point as fast as they can, but it looks like they're going to relinquish the point for the time being, take that 99 lead, and just wait for a one-fight situation. Skittles, again, already working on another Kitsune rush before Kay can get their second one out. Shay having orbital ray in hand, I can imagine this is going to be big when Phoenix pairs it up with the artillery configure.
Yes, and BC's just going to have to hold as strong as they can here, because with Texas A&M Black having the 99%, we need BC to be able to hold here so that they can ensure a win. But it looks like they're going to struggle with it for sure, with Atlee doing a lot of damage here for BC though, which is doing a great job.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one of those things you really hope that you're going to be able to win that fight with the orbital ray. But I mean, excellent kite right there from Texas A&M. The moment they recognize that, they put the Kitsune Rush on that long corridor, that long hallway, and that's really important to look at because they're taking positions where they're going to get the most value out of their Kitsune Rushes.
And we're going to see Texas A&M Black getting that second point for Flashpoint there, as they're waiting for the next Flashpoint to spawn in here. Like you said earlier, right now they still have a lot of time on the clock, so we're going to want a dry fight so nobody loses any of their charged up attacks.
Here we go, making a commitment again. Knight to the backline. They bait out Suzu, and now all 5 anti in that rampage. A huge rampage straight to the backline. Nobody falling quite yet, but just when I say that, Orion is the first to fall. Aim God and Skittles again, just still lighting up. There's so much damage being poured out, and that's the thing. You have a very committal fight like that, there you really, leave your supports hanging dry, and they wind up falling, and now it's just a matter of cleaning up the last few targets on point. They bait out a ton of ultimates on the side of Gators. They're gonna have a tough time making the approach here.
Definitely. And A&M Black taking immediately advantage of the fact that they can grab this point already. And we're just going to see as the percentage up.
Look at the ultimate. Well, up and up and up. I mean, we got almost 5 ultimates on the side of Texas A&M. They're going to go push straight to the spawn door, play aggressive, and you know what? They get Phoenix as a compensation or reward. They fall of Shea as well, and they're still willing to commit into this fight. Atlee getting the pick onto Orion. It's a start, but I mean, again, he's got a big hill to climb.
Yeah, we're just going to watch Aim God just dominate Atlee right there in that 1v1 feel-ish battle. We really need BC to step up and take charge here.
Yeah, historically, Domina does actually lose against the Junker Queen in a lot of the ranked games, but the way that Aim God's been positioning and using his CC tools makes things a little bit harder for Atlee. Again, every single time he tries to go for axe, Atlee getting booped back by either Jay or Aim God. So now, with 5 ultimates ready and wait, all they got to do is win this one team fight, and the series will be theirs. They're committing everything. Blizzard, High Noon, the Domina ult gets the 2 picks, and they're not going to even get a chance to touch the point. A clean sweep here for Texas A&M Black. Domination here in this second map.